Hi, my dear friends. We'll start to study about ancient art with Egypt because Egypt has one of the longest histories of any countries. Egyptian people saw some of the earliest development of writing, urbanization, agriculture, organized religion, and government. And of course, the river Nile played a very important role in the life of ancient Egyptian people. It is the longest river in Africa and probably the longest river in the world. Probably because we're not sure which one is the longest, Amazon River or the Nile. So the Nile covers 11 countries like Tanzania, Uganda, Congo, Kenya, and other African countries. And also the Nile has been the lifeline of civilization in Egypt since the Stone Age. The Greek historian Herodotus wrote that Egypt was the gift of the Nile. It played, of course, a crucial role in the development of Egyptian civilization in so many ways. First of all, the surrounded land were very fertile, so the ancient Egyptian cultivated and traded wheat, flax, papyrus. Then animals were also attracted by the waters, so these animals were killed and domesticated. It means that these animals started to help people to work the land. And then water, of course, was vital for everybody, and the Nile was also a way to do some economic relationships because it was a good way to transport people or some goods. And of course, the most important for us, the Nile was also an important part of ancient Egyptian spiritual life. So we will speak about that. The Nile was considered to be a causeway from life to death and the afterlife. So the East was thought of as a place of birth and growth, and then the West was considered the place of death. As the god Ra, the sun underwent birth, death, and then resurrection each day as he crossed the sky. All tombs were west of the Nile because the Egyptians believed that in order to enter to this afterlife, they had to be buried on the site which symbolized the death. So that's why some different figurines were placed in Egyptian tombs because of their representation of the Nile at this death and afterlife. So, for example, like this one bright blue Egyptian faience figure of hippopotami, which is exposed in the Louvre. So this hippopotami was buried in a tomb with different furniture comprising a large number of vases or other different objects. Then the painted motif, like you can see here, varied from one hippopotamus to another with water plants sometimes, or sometimes with butterflies or birds, but the decoration almost consists with a lotus flower in full bottom, because this is also the representation of primordial waters of chaos, the known. According to an Egyptian creation myth, on the first morning after the birth of the world, the sun emerged from a lotus flower. So they say that every being is born from the north, and the function of these hippopotamus statues placed near the mummy, for example, was threefold: to prefigure rebirth in the afterlife through the power of limitation. So it was very important to put this, to go to this afterlife. So thank you for your attention, and we will continue soon.